But Mitch McConnell has said, I applaud President Trump's decision to get hundreds of billions of dollars of crucial COVID-19 relief out the door and into the hands of American families as quickly as possible. This is McConnell's official statement. McConnell has said the bipartisan rescue package that Republicans in Congress and Trump administration negotiated with the Democrats will extend another major lifeline to workers at struggling small businesses, renew major relief for laid-off Americans, invest billions more in vaccine distribution, send cash directly to households, and more. The compromise bill is not perfect, but it will do an enormous amount of good for struggling Americans across the country who need help. I thank the president for signing this relief into law, along with full-year government funding, legislation that will continue rebuilding and the modernization of armed forces that his administration has championed. His leadership has prevented a government shutdown at a time when our nation could not have afforded one. I am glad the American people will receive this much-needed assistance as our nation continues battling this pandemic. That was Mitch McConnell's official statement that he just released just a few minutes ago. Once again, if you are joining us, President Trump has signed the stimulus bill and the government funding bill. So there will be no government shutdown. The government was funded until tomorrow at midnight. The government shutdown has been prevented. President Trump has signed the stimulus bill at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. Again, as I said earlier, we didn't know whether President Trump would sign or would not sign. He had a change of heart again, but now it's a done deal. And now everyone's releasing their official statements congratulating President Trump, including Mitch McConnell. Of course, there is some bad blood between the two, but Mitch McConnell wrote that letter. That was his official statement just a few minutes ago. Just for your information about the $2,000 stimulus checks, because what was in the stimulus bill was the second stimulus check, were the stimulus checks for $600 for an adult and $600 for qualifying dependents. Now, Pelosi just released a statement saying that she is still going to push for the $2,000 stimulus checks. This is Nancy Pelosi's official statement. Nancy Pelosi is saying, now the president must immediately call on congressional Republicans to end their obstruction and join him and the Democrats in support of our standalone legislation to increase direct payment checks to $2,000, which will be brought to the floor tomorrow. Every Republican that votes against this bill would be denying the American families and denying the American people the relief that they need. That's the official statement from Nancy Pelosi. Again, President Trump has signed the stimulus bill. We will be receiving the stimulus checks for $600 per individual and $600 per dependent. However, Nancy Pelosi is still going to be pushing for the legislation, the standalone bill tomorrow on the floor, on the House of Representatives for the $2,000 stimulus checks.